Today is Thanksgiving for the U.S. persons in our audience, and because I believe that peace and being grateful are important as part of a go where you're treated best strategy, I'm going to share with you the things that I'm thankful for this year and tell you how you can achieve the same. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson. This is Nomad Capitalist. It's where we help 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs and investors legally go where you're treated best. You can learn more at nomadcapitalist.com. And one of the things that we don't talk about as much, but that I think is very important, is just how important peace, gratitude, living a happy life, living a purposeful life, an intentional life, those things are very important. And I believe they're part and parcel of the go where you're treated best strategy. It's not just about how to lower your taxes. It's not just about how to have more personal freedom. Those things are important, no doubt. As anyone who's successful knows, those are part of your life. But so should be living a peaceful life that you're happy about. And when I see people who push back sometimes on the stuff we talk about, listen, people are free to disagree. People who want to stay in their home country, nothing wrong with that. But there are some people who are aggressive, they're angry, they're hateful. These people are not happy. And I sometimes think people look at what we talk about here and they say, you know, I'd like to do that, but there's something standing in the way that prohibits them from having that peace. I think that this lifestyle is one that contributes to a lot of peace because you get to be at total peace with the world. I've talked about how when I left the United States and later expatriated from the United States, I had a tremendous sense of peace. Now, I'm sure that makes some of the bureaucrats angry. And I also know some bureaucrats who are okay with it, and they've been very supportive. So, but for me, it has been tremendously cathartic to know that I get to be in alignment with who I want to be as a person. And so I don't want that to be forgotten on this day, whether you are an American or not. That's something that we can take from what we talk about here at Nomad Capitalist. And so this year I'm very thankful for the fact that I have built a network of friends around the world, and that I continue to see friends and family even as I live overseas. Today I'm flying to visit a friend of mine. I've known him for about 8 years. And we have come to have a more and more significant relationship, a more and more significant and open friendship that has developed as we've met each other around the world in places from mostly Latin America, Mexico, Colombia, briefly the United States at the very beginning of the relationship. And to be able to go and spend time with him, he is still an American. He is married to someone who is from here in Colombia. And to be able to have someone who has lived an international life, understands the things that I talk about. You can make certain jokes, you can make certain cultural references with him, but also has the international perspective and understands that unlike where we're from in the U.S., there are not simply two camps and you've got to fit into one or else you're a freak. There is a nuance to it, and to be able to spend time with him, to be able to have friends from the Americas, from Europe, from Asia that I've developed over the world, to be at, at my age, my ripe old age, and to be adding so many new friends that I meet organically really is nice. And it was great to have some conversations this week with people that I've met, and just really thankful for that. And I think that to say that you have to stay in your home country to have friends, to have family, I'm going to be meeting some family of mine in a couple weeks in Mexico, have other people that I'm going to be seeing over the holiday season coming up. I'm really thankful for that. And I think that people often think that you can't have friends, you can't have family, you've got to turn your back on people. Certainly there are people that when I started this journey thought, well, hey, if you're not living down the street from me, we can't be friends anymore. But I'm thankful that I continue to talk to friends of mine that I've had for, in many cases, or in some cases, 15 years. Got a friend of 11 years, just talked to yesterday, had a long conversation. Really, really proud of that I've been able to maintain those relationships. And there are some people that simply perhaps weren't destined to stay with me. And going where I'm treated best helped, hasten that process. I'm also thankful to have the ability to impact people. And one of the things that I believe about living intentionally is that it really brings out the best version and the truest version of yourself. When you go overseas, you are living intentionally. You are taking control of your tax rate, you're taking control of your freedom, you're taking control of your surroundings, and you get to choose all of those things. Some people come to me and they say, you know what, Andrew, I don't want to pay zero tax. I don't mind paying something. I don't want to totally go off the grid, but I at least want to make sure my money's being used properly. So let me pay 10% in a smaller country. Other people want to pay 5%. Some people do want to pay 0%. They're getting to choose. And I think that the choice that I've been able to make, and I look back at almost 10 years of Nomad Capitalist today, is being able to have an impact on so many people who walk up to me and say not only, hey, thanks, I moved my business overseas. I hear that. I was in Dubai earlier this summer, and a couple people come up to me, hey, we just started our business here. No tax, man, that's great. But more often, people come up and say, you know what? You helped me see a whole new perspective on life. You helped me change my life. You helped me one person said, you helped me get out of a toxic relationship. I realized this is not for me. I need to get out of this. You helped me, whatever. And, helping to inspire people is something that we should be thankful for. I know when I lived in the United States, certainly could I do this from the US? I could. I could be getting second passports, I could be building my plan B, and I could have some variant of the same message. But being able to be overseas and live this life, to me, shows you that there is someone out there who understands how to do this and who understands perhaps where you are and who can help guide you to where you want to go. Being able to hear the stories that you guys share, surely some people will share their stories in the comments about what Nomad Capitalist means to them. But being able to impact people, to me, is a function of making intentional choices. And there's really no decision that I've made in life that I think or is more intentional, or at least it's one of the top few, that deciding to totally change my life. So many other intentional decisions stem from that, from relationships to being married to all sorts of other stuff. But I wouldn't be in the position where I am today if it weren't for making the leap that I made. And for me, that brings me tremendous joy. I'm thankful for the ability to travel around the world, and I've been doing that over the last year, successfully passing every PCR test, not being sick, being able to go to countries from Asia to Eastern Europe, to Western Europe, to here in Latin America, continuing to be able to travel and having a sense of freedom. Being able to go where I want to go, and being able to have the freedom to be in a place or be in places where I'm treated very well, free from the restrictions that a lot of people are facing right now, that a lot of people who are celebrating Thanksgiving in the United States face if they bank overseas or invest overseas or try and do deals overseas. I'm thankful to be free from some of those restrictions. And I'm very thankful to be able to live in places where I can be inspired. Places that have opened my mind. Again, being intentional has really helped me to give thought to what is it that's important in life. It's helped me to grow a business that has intentionally gone and hired people in other countries, opened offices in other countries. Everything we've done here at Nomad Capitalist has gone against the grain of where I'm from. And so if you're sitting in one country today on Thanksgiving, if you're in the United States and you're celebrating it, or if you're somewhere else, consider the idea that starting to take the steps to plant flags that we talk about is going to open up your mind. Each step is going to, kind of flex a muscle, start to tear away at the muscle and build up a stronger muscle for having a greater understanding. And so the folks I'm going to meet today, I think, have done that as well, where they've really observed what are different cultures like, what are the pros and cons of living in different places. They have experiences, as do I, that I'm very thankful for, because they're inspirational to be able to see how other people live, how other people do business, to be able to pick and choose, not just from the best tax rate or the best citizenship, but to be able to pick and choose from, hey, this cultural thing they do over here is pretty cool. Let me add that to my repertoire. Or, this thing they do over here is pretty cool. And being able to create not only an environment of personal freedom and wealth, but also being able to create an environment where you grow as a person. I'm incredibly thankful for that. And let me tell you, it's not always easy. I have learned some hard lessons. I've been to places that I don't particularly enjoy. I've dealt with people where I had to learn tough lessons. And again, there were times I was kind of unhappy. But being able to build up those muscles there's a great gratitude that I have for being a stronger person, for being a more well-rounded person, for being, again, a more intentional person, having dealt with people all around the world, having lived all around the world, that I've gotten to pick and choose what works for me. And that has helped me really to achieve new heights, not only financially, because I think that when you free yourself to go where you're treated best, you open up the floodgates for wealth. There's just kind of a process that happens. But also just being able to be a stronger and more thoughtful person, being able to be a more mature person than just living in one country. Certainly we all mature, many of us hopefully, as we age. But I think that everything that we talk about here really helps with creating a sense of personal development, a sense of personal growth that goes beyond just the tactics that we talk about. Listen, I don't run away from wealth, and I'm thankful to have a business which has been able to serve a lot of people. I'm happy that as we go through and talk to those people in the last several weeks, that people are seeing the value in what they've been doing with us. And so I'm never going to run away and say, well, hey, it's not about money. Money, if you're a successful person, it is a manifestation of who you are and what you've done and what you've built and all the lessons that you've learned, exactly what we're talking about, what I'm so thankful for. But I think you can learn a lot more of those lessons by following the stuff that we teach, by being a global citizen, by going where you're treated best. And so I'm very proud of that. I'm very thankful for that and the opportunity to serve many of you, even those of you who haven't worked with us, the opportunity to have you at Nomad Capitalist Live earlier this year, the opportunity to talk to you, in these episodes on our website. But for me, these things all go together. Being more successful, keeping more of your own money, contributing to causes that are important. Those are things that I value a lot, and I think that you can do more and be more by applying the stuff that we teach. That's what I'm thankful for this year. I'd like to hear your comments below. Don't stop now. We've got well over 1,000 more videos here on YouTube for you to watch and learn how to go where you're treated best. And if you want to work with Nomad Capitalist personally, go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply, learn about our unique, tried and true process, garnered over years of experience, and learn how you can become our client.